Right, do you remember what they were saying the day, earlier this morning, the emergency news broadcasts? Do you remember? Something about the bodies of the recently dead returning to life, do you remember? It's happening here right now! Right, just to be safe, right, I'm gonna change the codes to yellow. And what you gonna do?
Kiss my ass, bitch.
That's right. OMG, folks. I can't believe it's second episode of Consolevania. Who would have thought it would ever happen? Who would have thought it would happen after that first piece of shit? But somehow the motherfuckers out there, they took to it. They liked it. But I gotta tell you, when they told me I was on the plane back to Milwaukee, and they said to me, you gotta come back over, legend. You're legendary now. You gotta come back over. We on teletext. We've hit the heights. I said, I'm coming. Xbox Live champion back in Glasgow. Xbox Live. Beat Lisa Simpson 45 Mechasol deathmatch. That's right, I said Mechasol, folks. I said Mechasol. I don't see Lisa Simpson 45 presenting any motherfucking video games, TV shows on teletext.
Hi there.
Where have you been tonight?
I have been
That's fun.
There's anybody playing video games here? It's a video game show. Do you play video games at all, anyone?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, there you go. Play games.
Where do you go?
Video games. You don't play video. You play video games at all?
I play games.
Let me see. You play Resident Evil, for example, sir?
I play Resident Evil, aye.
Do you like it, sir? You don't look like a games player. You look like you're gonna masturbate his hands. That's what that looks like. That's not a games player's hands. These are games player's hands. It's like Darth Vader's hands. We want to do a little bit of a chat about
what the fuck is this?
It's a coat hanger with a fucking microphone on the end. That's all we can afford.
From?
I'm from Milwaukee. It's United States.
I know it's
United
States. I'm from Sweden, by the way.
You're from Sweden?
I've been here for 4 months now.
It's a natural Swedish blonde here. What are you eating?
I'm not sure. What is it?
You're not eating it. You're carrying it.
Hey!
You kind of talk with an American kind of twin.
I've heard, and people say, "Oh, you're Canadian, la la la," but I'm not.
No, that's just as well, because I fucking can't. Yo, please don't touch my head. I don't have much hair underneath. I gotta keep it hidden. I want to talk to you about. Don't do that. Fucking these Glasgow people are fast. Come back and talk to me. Come back and talk to me, Sweden, please. Sweden. Ah, fuck, nil point. It was Robbie Burns, the famous Scots poet, who said that a rose by any other name smells as sweet. In fact, going to check that, Ryan? Check if it's Robbie Burns. It was William Shakespeare, the great bard's tale, that said a rose by any other name smells as sweet. But what about if that's a glass rose, folks? Eh? What about that, William Shakespeare?
Landino!
Oh, it's like Rocky.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's spoilers. You know, like when somebody told you that Cloud had sex with Sephiroth at the end of Final Fantasy VII, or when you read in the paper that the lassie for Metroid had a cock. You read a magazine and you see a screenshot of a plot spoiling moment. It's a nightmare. It's even more dangerous when you're dealing with footage on a TV show, particularly if the game in question is all about plot, and much of the fun is derived from familiarising yourself with the game's design. Glass Rose from Capcom leaves me in a difficult situation. If I show you or tell you too much about this game, I invariably detract for the pleasure I had in discovering exactly what this game is all about. Do I tip the wink as to what the gameplay consists of, or considering that there's not much weight to the gameplay, would that spoil the experience too much? Well, we play safe, we show you the basics, and I try to argue the case for a game that is probably doomed to being very misunderstood.
Maybe somebody else is going to die.
Oh, sexy legs, it's a transvestite.
Why does this keep happening?
You know who I am.
Glass Rose has you playing the role of Takashi Kagetani, a news reporter who looks a bit like an extra for a Justin Timberlake video. And you want to know why, folks? Because he's modelled in Masahiro Matsuoka, yet another J-pop poof. So does this mean that the game is doomed to being a J-pop shitter? For know thee the rule of gaming, if it is J-pop it is shite. Unless it's Bujingai, of course. Now, Glass Rose is not the most interactive game you'll ever play, even when compared to other point-and-click adventure games. Horrifyingly, much of the time you'll be clicking your way around rooms trying to find the object that you need to examine before the game can kick some FMV into action and let you progress. Often you're utterly clueless for what to do, where to go, and what to click on next. Sure, it's a crime, but in the mystery game genre, such crimes can be forgiven if the story is compelling enough. Oh, Picard caught, 1, 2, 3. And it is, children. It is. Glass Rose deals with a time slip, back to the 1920s, remember? A murder case in a beautiful mansion, and dialogue interaction with 20 odd characters. The conversational element of the game is its saving grace. Utilising an innovation Capcom call the free word system, you can highlight specific words in a character's dialogue and ask specifically about that subject. Ultimately, of course, you have to click the right word to progress through the conversation, but if you want to take your time with your chats, you can ask about almost everything and enrich your knowledge of the story. Oh, and lest I forget, you're also psychic, which means you can highlight words and use your psychic ability to detect lies or secrets about that subject. It's gimmicky, aye, but it works. Now, if I could just draw your attention away from this captivating footage of a poof and a schoolgirl walking along the street, it's the atmosphere and mystery novel structure of the game that lends it most of its appeal. Any of you familiar with Kanari and Sato's excellent detective manga, the Kindaichi Case Files, will feel right at home with Glass Rose. It's old-fashioned, slow and creaky, but it convinces, and it's only 20 quid. If truth be told, it's the kind of game you bastards are always moaning about not being translated for these shores, so for that reason alone, give it a chance. It's the perfect game to play in the beach, if you have a long enough extension cord and you manage to get your widescreen telly on the plane. Now, Consolevania isn't the type of show to make a joke about something like a fart, but I mean, come on. Now, if you like your adventure games, you could do a lot worse than Ragnar Tornquist's brilliant Longest Journey, or indeed Jane Jensen's absolutely fantastic Gabriel Knight 3. These two are top of the class. But if you'd rather save your PC for porn, the consoles have the wonderfully crafted, underrated Shadow of Memories.
Please wake up.
Well, it's done, and it's on to the next one. You know, it seems to be a fairly popular genre game for developers, the platformer. Perhaps because they're often money in the bank and they can be quite, you know, formulaic. All perfectly playable, you'll understand. There's no wrong with your Jackson Daxters or your Blinks or your Vexuses, says. But how's about this one, Kaya for the PS2? Well, it's an Atari baby and isn't it lovely? No problems with the visuals, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Character designs push all the right buttons and your main character's suitably inoffensive. But let's move on to the game. I know there's one thing you want me to talk about. Because there's always one thing you want to talk about when it comes to 3D platformers. What is it? That's right, the camera. Is the camera an arsehole, Ryan, you shout? Well, I'll tell you, but keep your voice down, my granny's trying to sleep. I'm afraid to say, the camera is indeed a bit of the arsehole variety. It plays like it's tied to a winch 400 feet in the air, which really makes you worried for the later levels. But again, this doesn't make it unplayable. Bloody annoying maybe, but it does make it unplayable. And thankfully my reservations were unfounded. As always, you'll adapt to the shortcomings of the game, and you'll become consumed by the good things, such as life. Pay attention, people. Don't make the mistake of putting this effort down after an hour, because you stay the course, and as the banner says in Pro Evo, you get the victory. As I've said, your areas are a little undeveloped, but this, in my humble Glaswegian just had 5 beers opinion, is a problem of my generation's gaming mentality. We know 2D beats 3D 999,999 times out of a million, and that's the fact. Play a great 2D platformer and you're part of gaming at its centre. You're in the fast beating, love-filled heart of games. So never mind is it right for me to be harking back to the days of old with games in general, is it in any way right or fair to compare a 3D platformer to the 2D Elite? No, you're fucking right, isn't it? And watch your language, my parents are watching this. So let's look at this like it's the first time we've played a game. What buttons do you press? How many levels does it have? What about those graphics, Jamie? Sorry, couldn't resist. Kaya is huge, it's a heavy hitter at about 15 hours, and it hooks you with familiar yet tasty bait. Mini games. As you play the main quest, you exercise the wolfen, turn them to natives, the natives go back to the village, build shops and huts with lovely fatty mini games. All of which are a bloody romp. As it turns out, the most annoying thing about Kaya is the bad guy. As far as I can tell, I admit it, I haven't finished it. Ooh, get him off! Fuck you. The bad guy is called Alan, which I don't understand the logic behind. Because I knew an Alan once and he was alright. And it never crossed my mind once to defeat him. If you want to play a platformer that hodds on to the 2D magic, try doing me a personal favour. Look at it, soak it in, then go and buy it. And if you like games, you like platformers, and you'll like this, it's perfect.
It's a nice color you got on there.
Yeah, it's French Connection.
Kind of banana yellow.
French Connection.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. It's real nice.
Yeah, it's
Can I see you with your hood up? Put your hood up. That's lovely. Let me see. Man, it's like E.T. the director's cut. Oh, tell me about Ridge Racer. I'm interested now. I like racing games.
yeah, so yeah.
That's alright, that's alright. It's on the coat hanger with a little microphone on the end. There's nothing to worry about.
It's alright.
Alright, so tell me about Ridge Racer.
That's brilliant.
What's your best time?
What is that? Is that
What's your best time in time attack mode? What's your best time in time attack mode?
Is he bamming me up?
No, I'm not bamming you up. I'm just asking you what your best time is in time attack mode. I'm just asking what your best time is in the... You play Ridge Racer, you don't know what...
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Is he bamming me up?
Now, what's your time attack mode? Come on, time attack mode, best score. What's your best time?
Are you
On
bamming
Ridge,
me
I'm not
up?
bamming you up.
What? What's my best
Talk to
time?
me about Dodon Patchy. Talk to me about Dodon Patchy, come on.
Who's he?
What's your best score on Dodon Patchy?
What is that? Pac-Man?
Yeah, pretty much Pac-Man, yeah.
Yeah. What's my best time? I don't.
What's your best time in Pac-Man? Yeah, you got it. Anyway, look, it's been lovely talking to you. I want you to go home, you turn on Ridge Racer, you get your time attack on, and you come back and you tell me what your best time attack time is.
Will you tell me about my pals?
Your pals are gone. This is what this has all been. It's a ruse. My friends come up in a van and pull your friends inside. We take them up the road, we go hunting with them. I want you to say, I am Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, but I'm not.
Hedgehog.
You say it. Come say it. Man, that looks
it.
good, man. I've been out all night. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
And you're watching. Whoa, wait a minute. And you're. No, hold on. I'm watching. Yeah, no, shit, no, we're not. We're fucking filming it.
Sterling.
You're watching. Listen.
You said you can't do
She's trying to get your fucking pizza. Cover it up.
want
That's what it's all about.
You just
Listen. My name's Sonic the Hedgehog, and you're watching Consolevania.
My name's Sonic the Hedgehog, and you're watching Consolevania.
That's right. And Ridge Racer, what's your best time attack time?
What's my what?
Your best time attack time at Ridge Racer.
What's the Tomatic Tan?
Just bought my new game from that lovely shop Game. Bit of a dubious standpoint against the Japanese, think they're biased against Nintendo. Never mind, the games are very expensive, so that's alright. Just bought my lovely new game, Burnout for the GameCube. Why? What have they done? They've written on my second-hand game, making it unsellable again. It's a fucking outrage! Ah! Eva will have my balls! Come, let's get them! Ah!
Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. You can't do that, son.
Just want to ask you one question.
You can't fall, sorry.
You gotta turn off.
Yeah, I'm just one question.
Sorry, Sir Paul. Sorry.
I just want to ask why you write on the back of games. Oh, it's an outrage. Oh, an outrage. I never ran an exponent for this. Violent villain will think I'm funny, you know. Oh. Aye, well, I suppose that's what I expect from those shysters. Go in there as a good fee-paying customer, get treated like a war criminal. At least the disc itself isn't written on, eh? Take that home to Eva. Oh, can't let her see that. It's a fucking disgrace. Well, I'm away home now, see Mussolini's in for tea. Bye!
Faster.
I don't think a genie's coming out of this one.
You know, Biohazard Outbreak is the first Resident Evil game to go online. Of course, we're not getting it online in PAL territories, but we're used to that kind of shit. So what have Capcom managed to give us this time? I'm going to try and give you the straight review of this game, the definitive review, and let you know whether it's worth buying if you're only playing it in offline mode. Come on, faster! I can't see my face in that. These days everybody's talking about Resident Evil, but not about Biohazard Outbreak. They're all talking about Resident Evil 4. And it's easy to understand why. Capcom is promising change with Resi 4, and change is the one thing that everyone agrees the series needs. So while the hype builds for 4, Biohazard Outbreak is becoming the forgotten cousin in the family. The PAL gamers know they're not getting the online play, so why should they be interested at all? Why indeed? Pay attention. In defence of this game, it was designed for online gaming, and designed for use with the PS2 hard drive. That's the only reason I won't be banging on about the fucking incredible load times. There's every possibility that the load times might be eliminated by the time the game hits these shores anyway. Hi Popeye. Now Outbreak is the jive bunny of Resident Evil games. You've got a mega mix of sorts, 5 scenarios to play through, each of which can be finished in about an hour, some of which can be finished in even less time. It's essentially Resident Evil Arcade. There's no real puzzle solving. But since Resident Evil's puzzles are about as appealing as a naked old age pensioner covering her fanny with a crossword book, we're not going to worry too much about that. You have a choice of 8 characters, so there's every chance you'll find one that appeals to you, or at least looks like you. That's why I've chosen Jim, because I'm black with blonde hair and I'm a postman. Every character has a virus meter which keeps on building up, and if it gets maxed out, you're dead. This keeps you moving through the scenario and heightens the sense of panic. And that's what this game is all about, panic. If you get knocked down by a zombie, the virus meter will start to rocket up, and you'll panic, screaming for help, hoping an AI character will pick you up. You get bitten and your meter will leap up, you'll panic. You realise the zombies are coming through the doors, you panic. You realise you don't have quite enough health to make it past that pack of 6 zombies, you're going to panic. Panic is a good thing. Outbreak, secretly, has delivered the best video game interpretation of a zombie apocalypse there's yet been. You never feel like a capable STARS team member. You never get the chance to be cocky. You have to keep moving, keep boarding up doors, keep making sure your team is alive, because if they're alive, they'll help keep you alive. That's why accidentally boarding up your teammates outside the door is a fucking bad idea, Robert. Now, there's been a lot of moaning from many quarters about the AI in Outbreak, but in truth, I don't think it's too bad. The other characters don't follow your instructions all the time, yes. They use up all your ammo, yes. They steal herbs, yes. They go missing, yes. But there's a logic behind this. They're panicking, just like you. It all adds to the frantic mess that is Outbreak, a frantic mess that plays like pure strain survival horror. Oh aye, and Outbreak also gives you the chance to act exactly as you really would in a zombie apocalypse, hiding in a fucking cupboard, pretending to be a hero.
Help me out here. I am.
If only they would all shut up. The clumsy chatter is what makes the AI seem so fucked up. What in God's name are they blabbering about? They stay quiet, you get to notice things like the different characters' different abilities, allowing you to carry more items, or carry more health, or create weapons. And you start to notice the little things like trading items with people, and oh my god, then they start talking again. Anyway, I've played the first scenario about 10 times now, because in my godlike opinion, it's the best bit of zombie gaming ever. The other scenarios don't linger quite as long in the memory, but they offer more than enough scope for the point collecting and secret character unlocking the offline game offers. So for the Resident Evil fan, Outbreak is the perfect game to celebrate the title's history. And what a stellar history it is, eh folks? Let's celebrate it with some old school funk, Resident Evil style.
Son of a bitch! Scream for me! Scream for me! Scream for me! Scream for me! Pay attention!
If you want some old school terrifying action, get some of your old Splatterhouse 2 in. Oh, look at them. That's very frightening.
In my collection, I've got Smurf for my Atari and Choo Choo Rocket. They're my two favourites. Well, it's the only two I've got, but they're my favourites. And I had a Dreamcast, but I sold it. But I sold it to get Blue Stinger, which is a Dreamcast game, but I didn't realise, so I can't play it. But the cover's a belter, though, so I just set it on the telly and it's also got, I bought Blue Stinger because it's got Dogs Bowser in it, and Dogs Bowser's always been one of my favourite characters. So you can just help me, Dogs Bowser, I'm Blue Stinger, I've got zombies on me, help me, dogs! The learning curve's quite steep in Blue Stinger, the way I play it.
I would say I've probably got about as many games as lassies I've slept with. So, as you can imagine, that's a fucking shitload of games, and games with really, really big tits.
You know, I mean, The thing with being rich and being a gamer is that, you know, you can buy as many games as you like. You know, I have just thousands and thousands of games. I like to go on eBay and just bid for games I've already got, just because I like the satisfaction of doing somebody else having that game. You know, it's great fun for me. It's one of my wee pastimes. And you know, it's quite good to know that, you know, if you checked in the back of any couch, or you know, you're going to find a game. You know, I mean. Oh, aye, well, Radiant Silvergun, that's another one. What can I say? It's hard, I know, but you know, I suppose I'll have to have them all. I mean, what's that? You can't afford Radiant Silvergun? I've got 5. I mean, it's a funny life.
I was working in a game shop for a while, but it didn't really work out. They said that I didn't know enough about games, so 1 league, 1 trophy, that was it. Some people tell you that being a midget raker's a bad thing, but that's where I got my hat and quite a lot of my wood.
I wouldn't say I envy anybody, because I've got my wood. And I've always got Smurf and dog's Bowser. What else do you need?
Yeah, you know, and they say to me, I collect video games. Well, as far as I'm concerned, pal, if you don't have at least 5 arcade machines in your house, then you're not a games collector. This is just one of my arcade machines, but I have to be honest here, I barely ever play them. I like to use this one just to sit my money on, you know. It's quite handy.
Obviously I've got a lot of time in my hands, but often I quite like to take some time out on the bog and read the Choo Choo Rocket manual. Medusa Clorungan's my favourite chapter in it. Begging's actually something that I couldn't really do with it. Obviously it does cut into the time I've got to play my collection, but it's got to be done, because life isn't just playing games and going to bed.
One of the luxuries of being richer than everybody else is that I can eat my breakfast with rare games like Dracula X and the PC Engine. I've also got a website on the internet where you can see me taking a shite on rare Nintendo games.
Oh, aye, a bunch of tramps. Well, that's me just a way to put away my Fire Suplex for the Neo Geo AES system. You've probably not got one of them. And put away my Samba de Amigo as well. That's right, the original. You know, got one of them too. You probably don't have one. That's fine. You'll be fine with your Tomb Raider. I've actually had a letter for Japan. I've got to go and shoot another advert, so I'm sure I'll pick up some more bargains when I'm over there. So.
Oh, some kip. Oh, bed, lovely bed. Oh, that's the stuff. Well, night, Mr. Bowser. See you in the morning. Don't let the woodworm bite. Help me, dogs. The Smurfs have got Medusa Clorungan. The Smurfs! Dogs!
We got a couple of these guys thinking, oh, Tom. No. Excuse me, man, do you play video games at all?
Do I?
You do?
I totally do, man.
He does. He plays video games.
Lots of video games.
He's also got a piercing. Let me see it. Can you
from
open?
New York?
Not from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are you from?
Canada.
You're not from Canada. I heard you talking over there.
What did I sound like?
I don't know.
What kind of video games do you like?
What kind of video games do I like? Who's the here? You old this.
Right.
What kind of video games do I like? Well, my name's Legend. I'm the Xbox Live champion. Beat Lisa Simpson 45 Mech Assault Deathmatch. And I found a fella. Don't touch the hair, honey. She don't know who Legend is. All right, you played. Listen, we want to talk about scary games. You know those games that give you the fear.
Oh, like Dead or Alive or something like that, or
Not that kind of fear.
what's the one? Like the dress-up Barbie party?
No, I'm not talking about that kind of fear. That's a shakes. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about that kind of fear. Kind of biohazard. Oh, where they call it. This is what we call it in Japan, where the hardcore gamers get their games from.
From Japan.
I don't come from Japan. I come from the United States. I get my games from Japan. My honey comes from Japan. Want to talk about Resident Evil?
Resident Evil, right?
How do you feel about it? Has it gone too far? Is it too many of them now?
See, I'm not big into zombies.
Why?
Because I like blowing up aliens instead. It's more my thing.
I gotta be honest with you. I mean, zombies, I don't really buy that shit either because they're not real. You know, you can't get real zombies in real life, you know?
Some might argue there.
What do you mean?
Some people may have said they've seen a zombie or two in their time.
Well, you think it maybe...
Oh, have you seen Brain Dead, the Kiwi film? There's zombies for you.
I want to get back to you talking about the zombies could be real. What do you mean?
Oh, there's a great movie made in New Zealand called Brain Dead, and there are some real zombies in that movie.
Yeah, but what are you talking? I mean, scientifically, you can't get zombies, can you?
Who says?
Is that a documentary? What are you fucking talking about? You can't get your hand out the fucking camera. You can't get zombies in real life.
Sure you can.
No, you can't.
What about when you're sleepwalking? Wouldn't that be defined as a zombie?
You can't get zombies in real life.
Sure you can. Why couldn't you? I mean, people dying, ghosts are kind of zombies, wouldn't you reckon?
No, that's a different thing. We in Milwaukee, we go hunting, we can shoot there.
Oh, I reckon there's a lot of zombies in Milwaukee.
No, we can shoot there.
Fair enough, but don't they come out and eat your brains out?
I tell you something, if a zombie holocaust happened, oh, you motherfuckers up in Canada, you'd be begging for us to come out from Milwaukee to save you.
It's no our job at Consolevania to be a faceless review entity, guarding our preferences for fear of accusations of bias. We're no that kind of show. So I can happily tell you right now that Koei are one of my favourite games companies, and Ku Shibusawa is a hero of mine. He's the man behind much of Koei's rich legacy. Oh, it's Prince. Sorry, he's the man behind much of Koei's rich legacy of games, but probably most renowned for his work in the historical simulation area.
and he's the greatest pseudonym in gaming, being, in actual fact, Yuichi Erikawa, the company chairman. Romance of the Three Kingdoms has been a staple of Koei's catalogue for years now, and number 8 on the PS2 is exactly what fans of the series have come to expect. Nothing that isn't broken is fixed, and the game expands on the latter title's more RPG-styled elements. In typical Koei style, there's a wealth of ways to play the game. You can create your own character or play the role of one of the characters from the Three Kingdoms period. Then you can interject at any point in the time period, with conditions accurate in accordance with Luo Guanzhong's novel, and then you can enforce your will and change the course of history. You can play as a lowly officer, or as the prefect of a town, or even as a ruler, and the game will offer a different experience with each choice. Magic. As prefect, most of your time in game will be taken up with the day-to-day maintenance of your chosen province. As an officer, you may roam in a band with other mercenaries or serve under a ruler, and as ruler you will have everything at your fingertips, deciding military and political strategies for your entire force, visiting your townsfolk to increase trust, expanding your cities, pillaging other cities, that kind of thing. Typical Saturday night. Across the board, graphically, the game hasn't evolved too much, but this is a game that never had to do that up its loopholes. The romance games are dead against change for the sake of it, and aside from a little spit and polish, the title isn't a kicking the arse away for the look of the SNES efforts. That's all good. Now when in battle, the game becomes impossibly exciting for you as a player, but incredibly boring, admittedly, for any poor bastard who's having to watch. But fuck 'em. War is hell. When you spent hours upon hours training up your special attacks in the barracks in town, or spent days tracking some lone warrior across the land, inviting him to banquets and buying him gifts just so he will join your army, the battle mode takes on great importance. When that same warrior leads your troops into a trap and suffers confusion for the entire battle, you feel that way you felt the night you took that bird to the pictures and McDonald's and didn't even get your bobby tickled. Romance 8 is the best of the series. It won't be the last of the series. 9 is already out in the States and 10 is out soon in the East, but this is all we in the PAL territories have. Right, look at that loading screen. That's what I call a loading screen. But this is all we have right now, and it's the perfect console strategy game. It's relaxing, it's lavishly produced, and designed by a company who know this period back to front. Romance is for all the gamers who like to lie back and think for a while. So much of this game is taken up by moments of hesitation and quiet contemplation on who you trust and whether you're doing the right thing or not. If you'll let me put my wank hat on for a moment, in a sense it's the perfect role-playing game. A game that gives you a vast amount of decisions, the basic cold details of the repercussions of your choices, and lets you fill in the gaps between the button presses. It won't come as a surprise then, that after all said and done, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8 is the Consolevania Game of the Month. Oh, folks, it looks like we fucking hell. What was that's all right. It looks like we've made it. We've survived, at least until the last review of Consolevania episode 2, and it's Dot Hack Part 1 Infection for Bandai, and you
So here it is for us. The deal is then, it's an action RPG from two monster companies, Bandai and Atari, and it comes packaged with a 40-minute anime DVD which was put together in conjunction with another monster company, Anime Supremo's Ghibli. Free DVD! Ooh! That's good, isn't it? Ooh! I've watched it, it's no good. But what's that got to do with the game? Well, a bit, but not much. So let's follow the supreme advice of racing and computer game racing legend Nigel Mansell and stay on the road. The game is a game in a game. A game and a game? That's right, a game and a game. As you're playing the game, you're playing as someone playing a game. Genius, eh? Well, let's see. Now, I don't want you to think I'm nitpicking here, but you're playing the character and the character is trapped in the game, right? That's the plot. But throughout the game you can log off and check your emails and online news on your desktop, which doesn't actually make an awful lot of sense. A minor glitch, you'll put it down to. So, I've logged on and I'm in the world. Well, the first thing I think is, this looks like quite a wee world I'm in. There's a root town in each server in the world which links you to, wait for it, random dungeons! My fucking head nearly fell off when I found out this bastard had random dungeons. You think the Morrowind review was boring? Just be grateful Consolevania wasn't about when Dark Cloud came out. I fucking hated that shithead. But I digress. There's random dungeons in .hack with a really, really big ladder we can carry on over this hurdle. In root towns you'll find other characters running around followed by LOL comments like, would you like to trade, or I'm so bored. Not a million miles to the truth, I'll grant you, but this highlighted a major problem that quickly becomes apparent when playing this, and that is that .hack's been touted as an online experience that doesn't require an online connection, which is absolute steaming pish. The characters that have no connection to the story, and I'm using the inverted commas motion with my fingers here folks when I say story, have, and this is no joke, 2 lines of dialogue. The longer you play the game, the more you'll fucking wish the storyline character had 2 lines of dialogue as well. The voice acting is toothacheingly bad, and it takes roughly 15 seconds before a new character gets in your, would you call them, Bristol cities. A plus point is that you can turn on the Japanese voices. You do have that option if you finish the game first. The game tries to encourage you to play it for lengthy spells, but this isn't a good idea because the random dungeons are, and this is quite a statement people, the worst part about this game. I'd love to say this game is aimed at kids, but I sincerely hope when my kids are over the age of 4 they'll have better taste than to play crap like this. There's nothing about this game that even looks finished, which is the most infuriating part about it. When you look at Manhunt, you can almost see the concept drawings, you can imagine the passionate debates about the story and the themes that include in it. With this you hear, what about a game? In a game? Fucking Ace! We'll charge 120 quid for it!
We'll play those stinking people like a hawk from hell!
I know this is unfocused, much like my camera work. In short, I really, really don't like this game. It's really, really bad. I might even go far as to say it's a money muck's employ. Don't let your curiosity get the better of you with this game. Any word of mouth hype you've heard is just that, hype. Much like that Paris Hilton crap. Anyway, I've had my say, let's let the game speak for itself.
Mon ami! Mon ami!
As you see, I'm recommending things now as well. Don't overreact when you see that title scene. The way I figure it, if you're going to play an RPG that doesn't make any sense, but is nice looking, you might as well play a really, really long one. And that's why I recommend Xenogears.
Consolevania.
Castlevania 4, SNES.
Calm down, man. He started already. He started. We want to talk about Resident Evil games.
Resident Evil.
How do you feel about Resident Evil, man?
Resident Evil.
I like the violence aspect, but really, like, I'm not really sure about the humanity.
The humanity? There's no fucking humanity in Resident Evil.
I'm talking about, man. Don't you understand what I'm getting at?
I don't understand at all.
Okay, the humanity might be lacking. You know, it's less like a. Is this a microcosm of the human experience?
You're analysing it too much. How's about blowing heads off? Am I right, man?
No, blowing heads, no. I'm all for your platform classic. Your Mario and the SNES, that's the classic game.
But that's just... if you're gonna do that, at least show your breasts, please.
I mean,
Nah, it's not good enough.
How do you stand on Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah.
How do you stand on Sonic the Hedgehog?
How do I stand on it?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean how do I feel about it? I'm thinking too literally again. Sonic the Hedgehog. I gotta be honest. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog, not enough interaction in it. You know, you're just fucking moving around.
No, I disagree because the spikes are really like relevant to the whole like blowing up of like the world and the Sonic experience.
Man, how do you put up with this?
Well, come on, right? Okay, like where's the intelligence? Where is the skill involved in the Resident
Sonic the
Evil?
Hedgehog.
On Resident Evil.
Wait a minute, Sonic Hedgehog, you run around, you little hedgehog, you hit spikes, fucking rings fire out, you got
Can I say one thing? Have you heard of Championship Manager?
no, I don't get that. What is that?
It's a football game.
It's a football game?
Yeah.
Like John Madden or something?
No, it's much more skilled than that, man. You pretend to be the manager, you build your team up from, like, you know, maybe the first league to the Premier League.
This isn't a first date. Is this a first date? Is this a first date with this girl?
There's no intelligence in games like Resident Evil.
If this is a first date, you're blowing it, because you're overanalyzing things too much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He must be afraid to sleep with you.
You have essentially a simpleton's attitude.
To video games?
No, to life, essentially. Cause
yeah, that's right, because wait a minute, I'll tell you, I'm Xbox Live Champion, beat Lisa Simpson 45 Mech Assault Deathmatch, and you know, you gotta have a simpleton's attitude to life. You take them fucking down like you take down a deer when you're out hunting.
Xbox as in the Microsoft product,
yeah,
as in shoddy goods. As
Bill Gates is my god.
Oh, come on, Bill Gates is a evil man.
Come on, you're a couple of beatniks.
Yeah, beatniks all the way. Living in San Francisco, looking at the
Xbox is not a console. The Xbox is just Bill Gates' money-making ploy.
Well, listen, folks, it's a money-making ploy, and these are two of the most annoying people I've ever interviewed, so I gotta give them that. They've got that going for them. Xbox Live Champion signing out. Don't play that Sonic the Hedgehog. Kill some zombies, folks.
Well, that's your episode 2 for you folks. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be here next month for another slice. In the name of Chris.